Have you ever noticed the subtle ways that patriarchy shows up in your life non-verbally and verbally, such as you're walking down on a path and there's a man coming towards you and your body, it's like this unspoken rule. You make yourself smaller or you get out of his way. I've tried to consciously not do that. And sometimes I get it. If you know a way, let me know. And a man tells you to smile. I'm not your dog. I don't obey on command for you just to make you feel better about your life. Today, I was at halftime talking to this brilliant elder woman. It was one of those women that would wear purple gloves and an orange hat and just be loud and what people would call obnoxious, but I find totally charming and adorable. We were having a great conversation, really enjoying this woman, and her son comes over and he tries to censor her. And I said, no, we're doing fine. You don't need to censor her. Kept doing a body language trick, which she and I were standing right here next to each other we're trying to get out of the rain. He was standing over here and I just started angling my body towards her and cutting him off. And then I looked over my shoulder one time and he was like, come back in and censor her again. I said, you know what? We're doing fine. We don't need any censorship right now. And I just think this is about him. He, maybe on the surface doesn't want to be embarrassed by his mom bragging about him. That was the first time, but then it kept going on. And I thought, well, maybe he likes me or is attracted to me. And let's say that, not likes me. Didn't see a ring on his finger. He was an attractive man. This makes him completely unattractive to me because he did this about 3 or 4 times. And I was just, this is not helping you. This is not helping you make a cause. It is all about the man. I have to rein this woman back in. I have to censor because she represents me. I want to be looking like a fool because I want to look good in front of this other woman. Oh, no. Until we break this down, until we see it clearly, the hidden stuff that still happens all the time, you're not going to be able to create something new. Until we break down patriarchy and understand it and get it all out of our own psyche and out of our own bodies that just react to it naturally, even without us thinking about it, or even with us thinking about it and trying to break it down, like the passing 2 people on the way, we're not going to be able to get out of it. We've got to do the breakdown first to help us be able to see the invisible hand of patriarchy that shows up in coercive control to keep us censored and quiet. This is the idea that it costs nothing to side with authority, but everything to stand up and speak out against authority. That is a quote, I believe, that came from Tia Loving's book, A Well-Trained Wife, about the trad wife movement that she lived. So did I. Cognitive dissonance is what led me out of the church specifically. So as I was going through understanding that I was living in an abusive home because I was in a very fundamentalist type of Christian church where you don't want to make your husband, specifically, it doesn't matter about the wife as much, but your husband look bad to other people. I was told directly by my therapist, and I know she meant well, and I know she had a heart of gold in a lot of ways. It was the first real therapist I'd ever had. Tell me that I don't want to be talking about these issues that I'm having in my marriage with my friends because it might paint a bad picture for when God would rescue and save and redeem the situation and bring my ex back into alignment into treating me right, even though from day one he never treated me right. Some other points is I had my marital therapist, so this is a therapist that counseled both my ex and I, in a private session tell me, oh, just wait until he dies, honey, then you can live your life. That's what most women do. Number 4, starting off the morning early, I posted a little short of the video I did last night about how patriarchy tries to censor us in these little subtle ways on YouTube. And my first comment was from a troll, lovely. And he said, there's a reason only cats want to cuddle with you. And I just said, oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for watching and proving my point. By the way, I'm a dog person, so move on, little man. But the more I thought about this, I'm like, this is like such a ridiculous way that they think they're going to shut down women. They're indirectly saying that a woman's only desire is to cuddle with a man. And when we can't do that, we speak up against the patriarchy, and therefore only cats are going to cuddle with us unless we shut up, and then the men will want to cuddle with us. So it's still all about the men. Subtle way number 5, and this is a big one. The stares. The very subtle eye looks at the gym just now. That's why I'm all wild. I lift heavy, and I wear the 5-finger toed shoe, so some of the looks could be just because of that, but women, there's several things behind those stairs, right? There's the, I'm checking you out, I think you're pretty cool and might want to get to know you. I don't see that one very often. Don't feel that energy coming at me very often. I feel more of the give me your attention look, and how I just don't give that energy back to these men, and you can just tell they're like pissed, and they probably don't even know what the hell is going on, but I'm awake, I'm woke, so I know. Yeah, when you don't give that energy back to the men that have been trained, and again, this is not about men, it's just about recognizing the patriarchy that we're all stuck in, non-verbally even, and really pulling it out and showing it and saying something about it, saying the quiet parts out loud. But yeah, that stare of, I'm going to get her attention because I'm a needy little boy who has been trained that is what women are for, is to give them attention. So there's that look. There's the look that I got a couple months ago at my Chiefs game from a gentleman that I now give no attention to, and he was drunk, and so I'm sure his filter was down, but he just started staring at me, and it made me super uncomfortable and felt unsafe. And I wish I would have had a witty comment back for that one, but I just avoid him now. They're so subliminal that we're just so used to dealing with this that we don't stop to actually analyze it and be like, that's what they're doing. They're giving us the creeps. Ugh, if they only knew. Just be cool. Just be a human. You would have so much better of a chance of connecting with one of us than giving us the creeps. It's just, maybe people have forgotten how to flirt and how to do that. You're an interesting type of flirty eye. All right, subtle ways patriarchy shows up, number 6 and 7. My whole entire point is never to come across as a woman who's not supporting other women, and even women that are still so deeply entrenched in the patriarchy. I don't want to come across harsh to them, because wasn't like this woman in the patriarchy, but I definitely was a woman stuck in patriarchy until 2012, and I didn't know any better until I started investigating it and feeling my own internal experience bump up against what men were telling me I should be experiencing as a woman. Anywho, so we're at a Chiefs watch game. I have my Chiefs shirt on, and it's at a bar in Texas, and she shows up every week. She shows up dressed to the hilt, sexy little goddess, right? And you can tell it's not from a place of confidence as much as trying to get the male gaze. So today she shows up in a very sexy, form-fitting red Chiefs dress, sleeveless, totally form-fitting, short, and you're just like, and again, like, women, wear whatever you want to wear. It's your body. I would probably dress a whole heck of a lot sexier if I knew men weren't going to be around because of what happened at the Chiefs game. She basically had a dog and heat show, a whole bunch of peacocks coming around her all night long, and she wanted that attention. You could tell. She was pumping herself in the bathroom when we were in the bathroom at the same time. It was really difficult to watch. I mean, at one hand, like, because I'm trying to pull this shit out, I'm watching it and studying it and trying to understand it. I've never been one of these type of women who has commanded that kind of power over men, not that I've ever wanted it. You heard me earlier talk about the men at the gym. Like, maybe it's also the dichotomy between the two of us. Like, I'm over here trying to ignore the male gaze and stay in my own world so I don't feed that bullshit in them, and she's over there actively trying to engage it. And then, of course, the men being peacocks and trying to get any little bit of attention they can, feeling like they have the freedom to put their hands wherever they want. And if you know anything about body language, I have a body language certification as a coach. And the closer you get into the personal body, so arms, hands, those aren't as personal, right? The closer you get up to here and the lower you go, especially on the back for women, the more intimate it is. And a few men were like touching her all over her lower back and her hips, and just feeling like they had the freedom to do that. And it was just very curious to watch. And I'm definitely watching my internal thoughts. I'm like, well, am I jealous? And I'm like, no, I'm not jealous. I'm disheartened that a woman her age, she's older than me, I'm guessing young mid-50s, wears a lot of makeup, so you can't even tell how beautiful she is. It's hid behind makeup. That feels like they have to do that still to be seen, right? That's the patriarchy. And I know that one's pretty obvious to a lot of us, but it was just, again, interesting to see it show up at my Chiefs game. Number 7, we won by me. It was a real nail biter of a game. If you're a Chiefs fan, you know what I mean. We ran the clock down to 1 second and had 1 second to make a field goal from 20 yards out, so a 30-yard field goal, and it hit the pole and bounced in, and oh my gosh. And this guy, was standing next to me. I'd never seen him in my life before. I'm like high-fiving him, and then he's pulling me into a hug. And y'all, I could not get out of not hugging this guy, and I did not want to hug him. I didn't know who he was. I didn't feel unsafe, but it was just kind of like, he pulled me into a hug, and I just had to kind of take it. What is it in men that think they can just demand that of women? And because he was much bigger than me, much, much, much bigger than me. And I didn't want to give it, and I couldn't get out of it. And so here I am giving this guy a hug. There's the patriarchy. That should not have been forced on me at all. I don't feel violated. Don't go there. Don't say that I'm complaining about that. I didn't know this guy from Adam and Eve. I probably would know Adam and Eve better, actually.